I'm in competition with myself. So that's what I want to do is just, do better than what I did my freshman year.
Never give up, never quit. Like if you start something, like finish it. Like you could do it if you really push yourself. Like
you gotta know what you're talking about. You can't lead and then like not know what you're talking about.
Like you're not gonna get here like just from one workout a day. Like that's not gonna work. You gotta put time in.
Welcome back to another episode of the DJ Henderson podcast. I'm your host, DJ Henderson, and today we have a season 1 recap episode, a special edition. Never did this before, but we're going to go back to season 1. We're going to flash back to season 1 and just recap some of the best moments, some of the best conversations, some of the most valuable conversations, the most hilarious conversation, just the best conversation that we had in season 1, summer season 1. So I just want to go back to the basics, show all my fans that have been tuned into the show from the start some of the first episodes that they saw that made them into fans. And I want to show everybody that's new to the show some of the first episodes that I ever did. I want everybody to just go back and see some of these clips and maybe want to watch some of those old episodes, see the growth that I've seen in myself as I started doing this show in November. And now it's almost been a year. So I just want to recap. We're halfway through season 3. Thank everybody that's been supporting all this time. I really appreciate it. I feel like it's been a long time since season 1, but it also feel like it was just yesterday. So yeah, make sure you tune into this episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share if you're watching this on YouTube. Make sure if you're listening to this audio version, you leave a 5-star rating, you leave a review. We got DJ Henderson merch coming soon. Make sure y'all stay on the lookout for that. It's going to be an exclusive drop first before we start dropping it for everybody. But yeah, we got merch coming soon, different colors, DJ Henderson podcast merch. Yeah, we got merch coming soon. New episode next Thursday, like usual.
Just stay focused, stay with your number one goal in mind, try to reach whatever goal you're getting to. Stay ambitious, just stay determined, stay focused, stay ambitious, keep going until you reach a goal. And even when you reach a goal, just go even higher,
How much have you heard that, like, people saying that they don't think you're big enough to play at that level or you can't take a hit or things like that? And how does it motivate you to just keep going?
It was a lot of times, man, like especially my senior year, when coaches were coming to the schools, recruiting. Some people, said I was too small, to play, at one of those big time schools. And that just motivated me, to, get stronger, get faster, get bigger. And yeah, especially going into my freshman year, I got a lot of playing time, at one point I was a starter. So, I just took that, that negative energy and, I made it positive and, it kept me focused and it, made me who I am today,
What would you tell yourself, like, starting off as a freshman again? Like, what would be your best advice you could give yourself?
In high school or college?
High school.
Just stay focused, there's going to be a lot of temptations, there's going to be a lot of, demons that, that's going to try to lure you off the path that you want to go to, just keep staying focused, keep grinding, keep being determined, and, you'll go far. I think I got a little bit of everybody in me, one of my favorite players is Barry Sanders, so, I try to implement him. People say, I got a running style like Eric Dickerson. Try to throw in a little bit of Le'Veon Bell. So all the people I look up to, just try to combine all that into one. I'm quick, I'm agile, hard to get down. I'm small compared to, other people in my conference, but, that's why, it's kind of hard for them to bring me down because, I'm so agile. But, yeah, just take that and run with it. Going to an HBCU, I would recommend it 100%. It's fun. You with your people, the vibes is just different. And, like, it's unmatched. Like, it can't get any better than the HBCU. So I love it. And I would recommend it to everybody, especially people of color.
What were your goals heading into Alcorn your freshman year?
To be honest, I really didn't have any goals. I really didn't even think I was going to play, like, at all. I thought I was going to redshirt, because it was 6 or 7 people, in front of me that's already been there. It's older. But, I regret having that mindset because, once we got on the field, that's when I started to believe, like, I can actually play. So that's one of the things I regret, going into, college is just, like, having that mindset, like, oh, you're not going to play, just, chill. But, yeah.
Well, talk about being a true freshman. Talk about what you did your freshman year.
Shoot. I didn't think it would be, I didn't think my year would be like this, And it really didn't hit me until, I had, kids coming up to me after the games and be like, oh, can I get a picture? Fans coming up to me after the games. Can I get a picture with you? Good job. It was crazy. Like, I didn't think I would be as big as I am. Not saying that I'm like a celebrity or anything, but I just didn't think I would have the impact that I did.
I want to say thank you guys for your continued support of the show. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a review wherever you get your podcast. For exclusive merch, make sure you send a DM to the DJ Henderson Podcast Instagram page or my personal Instagram at DJ Henderson _.
It took a lot, man. And, I'm just glad that it happened the way it did. I got all SWAC, first team. I was on the freshman All-American list. I had just under 1,000 yards, just for my freshman year. And I played a big role. So as far as my goals, just do everything, 110 times better than what I did last year. As far as, rushing yards, receiving yards, yards per carry, just, bettering myself. I'm in competition with myself. So that's what I want to do is just, do better than what I did my freshman year. Another, long-term goal is, do what Cohen did, who went to North Carolina A&T. As far as getting as many yards as he did, maybe even surpass him, because he's one of the big-time players in, the HBCU world, because he's playing in the NFL right now. So, I just want to, have my standards, that high. So, one day I can possibly, go to the NFL.
What motivates you to keep going after you've had so much success this far?
My dad, man. My dad was he was the man on campus at FAMU. All the stories he would tell me about, what he did and the success he had on the field. So really my dad, he keeps me motivated. He keeps me, on the right track. He tells me, don't get the big head, just because you did what you did, your freshman year, you got to keep going. And, I just want to have, that level of success that he had, especially at HBCU, because, if he wouldn't have got injured, he was 9 times out of 10 going to the league. And, so that really keeps me motivated and keeps me sane, allows me not to get the big head.
Shout out to Pops, man.
Shout out to Chuck.
Shout out to Gerald, man. Bryce Moragne, welcome to the show, bro.
What's good, Brody?
Not much. Tell everybody who you are. Tell everybody who is Bryce.
My name is Bryce Moragne. I attend Florida A&M University. It's my 4th year. About to be my senior year. I attended Hillsborough High School. Played guard for pretty much 1 through 4. But yeah, that's me. I'm a hustler. I'm just gonna get after it. That's me.
Like, what do you think makes somebody a good leader?
Well, for me personally, I kind of wanted to be a leader as soon as I got here, but I knew I couldn't, only because like my game, you kind of got to earn in order to be a leader, your teammates got to be able to trust you. You got to earn the respect of your teammates. That's one thing my coach always preached. Like, if your teammates don't respect you, it's gonna be hard for them to trust you, and it's gonna be hard for you to lead. So that was one thing that I made sure I did. I made sure that my teammates respected me first. They could trust me on the court. They could respect my game, and then that's what enabled me to be able to lead. You got to know the game. You got to know what you're talking about. You can't lead and then like not know what you're talking about. So that's definitely big. You got to know what you're talking about, and you just can't be afraid to voice your opinion. Like a lot of people want to be leaders, but they always bite their tongue when it comes to certain situations. But being a leader, you got to be able to talk whether the situation is like, if you really don't even know a lot about the situation, you still got to be able to talk about the situation. So definitely being able to be vocal on and off the court, I think that's what makes a person a good leader.
Leading definitely is an uncomfortable job. Like if you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable, then you probably won't make a good leader, because it is times where sometimes you got to talk to your teammate, or you got to tell them something that they don't want to hear, or correct them, or whatever the case. But as long as they know that it's coming from a good place, and like you said, if they could trust you, if you're telling them something that they've seen you do before or they see you do, then most of the time people won't have no issues falling in line. I want to say thank you guys for your continued support of the show. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a review wherever you get your podcast. For exclusive merch, make sure you send a DM to the DJ Henderson Podcast Instagram page or my personal Instagram at DJ Henderson _. What is it like being at a HBCU? You've been there for 4 years.
I'm gonna put it like this: if you had a chance to go to the HBCU, go to the HBCU. That's one of the best experiences. Like, you're gonna have the time of your life at HBCU. Just the culture that's established at HBCU is different from all other schools. Like, you don't get that anywhere else. You don't get that at UF. You don't get that at FSU. FAMU, and I can pretty much speak for any HBCU. It's just different from all the other schools. But I would definitely recommend going to HBCU. I love my HBCU, and wouldn't want to be at any other school.
What's one of the main things that you can like put a finger on that makes the HBCU experience more unique than a regular university?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's just like a sense of belonging. Like being here, I just feel like I belong, and like I just feel like I'm surrounded by people that share the same background as me, share the same characteristics as me. So I don't know. I guess that's what makes it different. I feel like at a school like UF, FSU, there isn't a sense of belonging. Like, you kind of feel everybody's a little bit different. It's more like diverse, but at FAMU, more like a family. So that's definitely what makes it.
You with your own people, so you just feel more comfortable.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, sir. What would you tell, like you kind of just touched on it, but what would you tell an athlete that's trying to decide if a HBCU is for them?
I would tell them basically what I just said. If you have the chance to go to the HBCU, I would definitely recommend going to HBCU. If you're a player who's trying to, like, if you're, I guess, a high major guy and you're thinking about, well, I don't want to go to HBCU because I'm not going to get looked at and things like that, don't even think about that, because we still play, even though the conference we play the majority of HBCUs, we still got at least 15 to 20 games that we play, all high major teams. So if you a baller and you can hoop, you're going to get looked at. Scouts going to see you, like, your name going to get out. So don't let the name or just being an HBCU steer you away from not wanting to go to the school, because at the end of the day, if you a hooper and you can hoop, like, scouts gonna see you. It's a dude that's in JUCO right now, like, just entered his name in the NBA draft. So if you can hoop, you can hoop.
What's your why? Like, what motivates you to just keep going hard, to keep pushing, even when you don't want to sometimes?
I mean, I could say my family, but I feel like that's just like that's a basic generic answer. Honestly, I would say, like, not a lot of people have the opportunity that I have. So I feel like having this opportunity, I'm blessed to have this opportunity. So I want to make the most of it. So I feel like that's what keeps me pushing. Like, I could be, like, God could have have not allowed me to be here. But since I'm here, I'm just gonna make the best of my opportunities. So that's why I go as hard as I can every day. Like being able to wake up and put shoes on and play the game I love. Like that's just what really made me go. So, and then also, like I said, family. Like my granddad, he kind of instilled the game in me. So he called me pretty much every day, like ask about the game. So I know that make him happy. He like see me watch. He like watch me play on TV. So that's kind of my why too.
What would be one thing that you would tell somebody that's up and coming trying to make it?
Just go get it, go hustle. Nothing in life is gonna be handed to you, nothing at all. And that's a quote you can take with you in any aspect of life, whether it's a job, basketball, school, like nothing or anything you want isn't gonna be handed to you. So if you want to be the best player in the nation, like you got to put in the work to do it. If you're a walk-on right now and you want to go end up being a scholarship player, you got to put in the work to do it. Like a coach is just gonna walk up and, hey, I think you should be a scholarship player and give you a scholarship. That's not how it works. You got to work for everything you want. So I would definitely say put in the most work you can now early. That way the success will pay off in the long run.
My guy, Trevor Phillips, welcome to the show, bro.
Biggest piece of advice I could give to anybody, like no matter what they're doing, never give up, never quit. Like if you start something, like finish it. Like you could do it if you really push yourself. Like nothing in life is easy, nothing in life is handed to you, and you just gotta always think like, what are you willing to do to like really get what you want? And like if you not willing to like, you know what I'm saying, push yourself through and like you willing to give up and everything, you didn't really want it as bad as you thought you did, you know what I'm saying? So if you really want it, like go get it. And it ain't nothing, nobody stopping you but yourself, really.
What is it like what could you tell somebody about being a student athlete and how difficult and tough it can be sometimes?
Being a student athlete in college, definitely real hard. You know what I'm saying? It's a grind also. But once you get used to everything and how everything goes, it gets a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you're getting your work done, talk to your professors and everything. Going into practice like with a good mindset and all that. It's the biggest thing really. You just got to stay mentally strong because being a student athlete, a lot of people like sleep on student athletes, think like it's easy, it's not as hard as it seems and everything, but no, it's a grind, but it's not impossible to do. And you know what I'm saying, once you get through your first college semester, your first college year, you know what I'm saying, you really could see like you could do this, you know what I'm saying, you got to push through.
I agree. Honestly, people ask that a lot. And I mean, a lot of people, there's people out there that say, oh, being a student athlete easy, y'all get free this. All you got to do is play a sport. But I mean, it's not that easy. But like
It's not.
it's also not really impossible either. Like in my experience, I think once I got in a routine of going to school, going to practice, working out, all that kind of stuff, once I got in a routine and I knew what I had to do every day, it got a lot easier. If you had a chance to tell yourself, starting off as a high school freshman, one thing, what would you tell yourself?
Ooh, one thing I could have told myself, probably really I would have told myself stay in the weight room a lot more. I remember my freshman and sophomore year I was in the weight room, but really wasn't taking it that serious, you know what I'm saying? I was in there just really floating around as a freshman, but if I were to go back, tell myself anything, it would be push that weight, you know what I'm saying? Just get stronger and stronger because the better you look, the better it is for colleges to see you. Not only that, it really pays off when you're on that field. You don't think it does in the moment or nothing like that, but it really does at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? From my freshman year to where I am now, my maxes and everything have went all the way up. But I remember going into like my junior year at Rockledge, at Heritage, I really didn't take it that serious, but going into my junior year at Rockledge, Coach Younger really emphasized like me being in the weight room, and he helped me like push all my maxes up, and I got a lot stronger just going to Rockledge in itself, like having somebody to really actually push me. Not to say that Coach Ainsley at Heritage didn't push me, but it was just I seen the difference going to Rockledge and everything like that. So I would tell myself as a freshman, take that weight room seriously. I just felt like Rockledge was one of the best moves for me to make. Sacrificing my touches and my role and everything really wasn't that hard for me. I've never really been a selfish player. You know what I'm saying? I've always been the type, like, if one man's eating, man, feed him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's going to work, feed him. Like, I can't hate on another player for doing great. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a jealous player, nothing like that, selfish, nothing. So it wasn't really that hard for me to make that move, knowing that it was better for my future and what I was chasing. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely played a big role at Heritage, but I also played a big role at Rockledge that I liked, and I got comfortable playing, and I did good there and everything. So it was probably one of the best decisions I made.
I think that kind of shows what kind of guy you are, because I know you personally as a athlete, you know, like not all guys are going to be willing to come to a different situation, take a smaller role, get less touches or less shots or less whatever the case. But you knowing that that's what you had to do to, one, better yourself and get farther along for your future, and also in order to compete, hopefully for a state championship, that's big time. I think that says a lot about you. What motivates you to keep going and keep working hard even after you've accomplished what you've accomplished?
What motivates me? Really, what motivates me? I'm a big motivator of myself. I like to push myself all the time. Take myself to that limit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to have a big future for myself. So like whatever I got to do to like get there, like I'm willing to do. Like push myself in all aspects of life, whether it's on the field or off the field, in the classroom, out of the classroom, like whatever it is. Like, and I always like to challenge myself. So that's like one of the biggest things that motivates me is myself.
Marcus Cohen, welcome to the show, bro.
Appreciate it, Brody. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
And then really it was like freshman year coming in and then having the opportunity to start as a freshman. That was pretty big time. Never happened at Sickles for the most part, unless you was like a top player. But that was pretty impressive for me. And that built a lot of confidence as well.
How hard is it? Just like you said, not that many people at Sickles did it. Not that many people at my school did it in high school. How hard is it, and what is it like playing varsity as a freshman?
It's going from middle school to high school, the pace of the game changes as well as the physicality. So I kind of came in the right year in a sense because they was loaded the year before I came as well. Just having like the right opportunity and being able to be in that position to have the opportunity to start as a freshman was pretty big time. So it's just something to be grateful for.
How important is time management when you're in college?
Oh, it's very important. You got to know how, like, you're going to have 5 classes on top of weights, individuals, then you got practice as well. And then some days you got conditioning in the morning, some days you don't. You really just got to have good time management and be flexible, be able to be flexible because, like, everything's not, like, there's many different athletes, many different programs on campus, so you got to be able to fluctuate with what they got to do, like cheerleaders, dancers, they be in the gym sometimes, so you got to fluctuate with that. But just having good time management and knowing how to get things done on time or ahead of time so you don't have to worry about it is probably the most important thing to getting through college.
What would you tell somebody that's like stuck on the level that they're getting recruited to play at or where they're about to play at? Like, what would you tell somebody?
Just live in the moment. Like, don't try to. I say don't try to. Don't kill the opportunities that are like in front of you right now, because you're never gonna know like if that's gonna be the opportunity for you. Like, go if you stuck at a level right now, go somewhere where they want you to succeed, where they want you to be successful. And
I want to say thank you guys for your continued support of the show. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a review wherever you get your podcast. For exclusive merch, make sure you send a DM to the DJ Henderson Podcast Instagram page or my personal Instagram at DJ Henderson _.
Their main guy type stuff, because I'm not gonna say I made a bad college decision, but it definitely impacted me because I didn't go where I was wanted. I went where I was like the second option, like the second recruit that they wanted. So that can play a big role whether you 1 or 2, but definitely go where you want it because that's gonna You never know what can happen. Coaching change, stuff like that. It's real. College basketball real. It's a business, so you got to do what's best for yourself as well.
That's what I would say too. Just like now, I'm in junior college. I'm about to transfer to hopefully a bigger school next year, and that's like I've been a part of not saying this situation, but situation in general where I wasn't like the guy like that was like wanted. It was more so just where I wanted to play, stuff like that. But next year, like that's the main thing I'm looking at. Like I want to go somewhere where somebody wants me, where they're invested in my success and they really care versus just the name of a school or whatever the case.
Make a difference for real. It makes a big difference.
How hard have you had to work to get to this point?
It's been a long journey for real. Late nights, early mornings in the gym with Coach Garcia. Just a whole bunch of weightlifting days. Like you're not gonna get here like just from one workout a day. Like that's not gonna work. You got to put time in. Just work on your craft. Try to master what you're good at, and then work on what you're not good at, so that can elevate your game some more. But just working hard, never giving up. Like don't compare yourself to the next man. Like it's a different journey. Everybody has a different journey in life as well. So your purpose might be different, but just as long as you work, let your work show, and you'll be fine. Like simple as that.
Pat Taylor, welcome to the show, bro.
What's up, bro? My name is Patrick Taylor from Lakeland, Florida.
Yes, sir. Tell everybody about yourself growing up in Lakeland. How is it like? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Lakeland, a rough city to grow up in. It ain't like Chicago or nothing like that, but it's a lot of hatred in Lakeland. Everybody not for everybody. So it took a lot, but I kept myself motivated. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like where I'm at right now.
For sure. What was it like growing up in your house? Like, what was your house like?
My house is. I love my house. Everybody in my house. Like my parents have been with me all my life. Both of my parents, my siblings. I got 6 siblings, but only one got the same mom and dad as me. But like, yeah, my mom and dad came to every one of my games. My family, they we're good family.
Shout out to Miss Lydia. Shout out to Coach Pat.
It's a lot. We got a lot of athletes and good athletes in Lakeland. A lot of them didn't really go that far because grades and stuff. But we got like Corey Sanders, Dwayne Bacon, Luke Henderson, Rashard Henderson, all them players. You know, like for my city, all my other like great players. I love how they come back to the city and play with us, like pick up and like they like teach us little stuff when they come. I love my city, how everybody just come together where the athletes come back and like give back.
What is it like being able to like to be close, like being up close and personal with those kind of guys? Like, how does it make you feel?
It's kind of shocking because like with like Dwayne Bacon, for instance, he like real cool. Like I got his number, and I feel like I can call him whenever. He like a bigger brother than me, and that's real cool to me that a famous NBA player take his time out to talk to me whenever I need somebody to talk to. And Corey Sanders, he a real cool dude. Used to get in the gym with him before I came to college. It's just like a plus to me that I get like the game from them, and like they just teach me everything that I need to know.
If you could tell yourself one thing as a freshman starting over high school, what would you tell yourself?
To take my freshman year more serious. Because my freshman year, I didn't really care about my grades. I just was having fun. And I didn't like my freshman year to have C's and all that, like C's, A's, and B's. But after my freshman year, I kind of like got like better with my grades and had like AB on the road. But if I took my freshman year more serious, my GPA would have been higher. And I probably would have got more like offers and stuff my senior year. But I'll take my freshman year more serious.
You just touched on it, but tell everybody how important it is to be in the books and on top of your grades, especially high school.
Yeah, it's very important to be on your books and show because it's gonna hurt you in the long run. And for me, the freshman year, everybody told me this, but I ain't really like paid attention. But your freshman year is your most important year, like that starts your GPA.
Your last year, what has it been like getting used to the college lifestyle?
It's been. I mean, I loved it. I kind of adjusted fast. It's just like being so far away from home. not seeing my family. That's what it's really hard. But like just all that work and stuff, I'm adjusting to that work, but like that's different. Like all these essays and like all these meetings and stuff. That's what I had to adjust to.
How important is being able to manage your time in college?
That's very important, bro. Because if you can't manage your time, but college is gonna be so rough. And I learned that already, and I only been here for a month. But like, yeah, it took me about a week to learn and like manage my time. But I've been doing good so far though, like getting my all my work turned in and the workouts and the team meetings and stuff. It's a lot to adjust to, but I feel like I'm doing good with it though. Already.
Once you just figure out what all you got to do and just like get everything in order, it ain't hard at all. I mean, I ain't gonna say it ain't hard at all, but it's not as hard as people make it out to be once you figure out. Like, you just got to figure out what your system is, like what you got to do, and it all figure itself out. What would be your advice to somebody just trying to make it?
Somebody trying to make it, to get better every day, and don't think somebody gonna get you recruited. You got to do it on your own. That's how I feel. Cause like a couple of my homeboys found out the hard way like that. They were just waiting on people to get them recruited and get their name out there. But just do it yourself and just reach out to people. That's the best way than just staying home and not doing anything, and just to get better the next day.
I want to say thank you guys for your continued support of the show. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a review wherever you get your podcast. For exclusive merch, make sure you send a DM to the DJ Henderson Podcast Instagram page or my personal Instagram @DJ Henderson_.